this is incredible. So this is like a memorabilia room sort of thing. So there's so many toys here from the 50s.
There's a bit of everything. I mean, the whole idea of the memorabilia hall was to throw so much American culture and bits and pieces into cabinets so that it's like eye candy. You just walk along going, I've never seen that, or what the hell is that, or where does that come from?
So explain some of these things that are in it.
I mean, this little guy here is an interesting piece. This is one of those kinetic toys from the 1940s. You wind it up and each of those little buses bump each other to keep them going, and it still works. Can you imagine that today, 1940, we're talking what now, 70-something years old? It's never going to work. There's an original Bakelite TV from back in the day.
Right. Oh, hang on. Something's caught my eye. Danger, Will Robinson. What the hell? Have a look at this.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Lost in the 50s had to feature. It's another iconic American TV show that we all grew up on.
Can I touch it?
You can touch him, yeah. Danger.
How rare is that though?
Don't, careful.
Oh, hang on.
Now, look over here.
Yes.
Don't bump it.
What have we got here?
This is an original 1 through 75 Leslie Matchbox collection that has never, apart from going into this cabinet, ever been out on display. So those cars have been placed on top of those boxes out of the darkness of those boxes for the first time here.
Oh my God, so they've never been played with?
Never been played with. They are mint condition, still in the box. In fact, let me just point out, and the elastic bands on 2 or 3 of these that hold the pipes in place are the original bands, so you can't touch them because they'd be brittle.
They're just brittle,
Yeah, and they would snap. So that's a marvellous piece of Americana.
So how do we know they haven't been played with?
Well, if you look closely at any of the wheels on them, you'll see that they are still shiny. There is no wear.
Oh my God!
And I can guarantee that when I got them out of the boxes, they were just mint. There's never been touched or played with.
Oh, hey, I noticed somebody's behind us.
Well, Elvis is always in the building.
What's going on?
You want to talk American pop culture? Here it is in a nutshell.
Wow!
This is what we call our Elvis Presley tribute wall.
Yeah.
And of course, Elvis is sitting in a '61 DeSoto dinette.
Yes.
And this dinette we pulled out of a diner in America, where you would sit and have your hamburgers served. It's a real car. It would be worth a fortune today if it was complete. It's still probably quite expensive as it is, but a beautiful piece and a wonderful tribute to America's greatest, Elvis Presley. And there's Elvis and Aunt Margaret there on the Hollywood film strip. As you know, they were a great couple.
It's crazy.
But this room's solely dedicated to that time of in America where it was just magnificent. There's the old Hollywood projector.
And it gets back to the colours again, or the bright colours.
And you would have had one of those growing up here in Australia, the cowboy suit with the sheriff's badge.
And look, oh my God, there's more in this cabinet here.
There is, and there's some pretty...
the monkeys.
There's the monkeys. There's a beautiful dashboard Coca-Cola commercial radio. Down the bottom, there's a Royal Tumble vacuum cleaner, brand new, never used.
Are you kidding
from
me?
the 50s.
Hang on, what's this mannequin in here as well? He looks familiar.
You know who that is?
Who's that?
You don't know?
I'm trying to lead you
That's
to tell me.
Howdy Doody.
Oh my God, is that really?
You remember the Happy Days episode with Howdy Doody? There he is.
That was sort of trying to lead him onto this because I knew what it was.
He looks pretty depressed, doesn't he?
He does, doesn't he? But that camera is amazing too, isn't it?
Well, the brownies were popular here in Australia, and that's a full, complete set.
Wow.
All sorts of ones. There's the Brady Bunch making an appearance over here as well.
Oh my God.
Another iconic American TV show.
Absolutely. And you got pedal cars, you got everything in here.
There's lots of pedal cars scattered throughout the whole place, and we tend to sit them up high so you can get a good look at them. But
I love all the old boxes, like the Erector.
The Erector set, yes. Wow. Believe that?
That's a Meccano set, just for those people that are playing at home. Oh, Glenn, this is beautiful. I'm actually feeling a little bit peckish. What have you got?
Welcome to the diner, mate.
This is great.
This is our special effort at replicating what it would have been like back in the day to go into the malt shop or the diner. Sit down, relax on a hot afternoon, get yourself a nice cold drink.
A lemmy?
Yeah.
A lemmy? Now, all right, what else have we got?
I know you've driven a long way.
Yes.
So we thought, well, maybe to get you started you might like an all-American cheeseburger.
Look at that.
And I know you did an order and the girl said, my God, the hot dog?
The hot dog. Geez, you must think I'm hungry or something.
Followed by the ice cream. And then to top it off, perhaps on the trip home, the popcorn.
The popcorn, yeah.
And then wash it down with a beautiful chocolate molten thick shake.
Geez, I don't know. How much is all this going to cost?
Well, let me just have a look, mate. Right now you're at...
hang on, let me see what I got.
You're at 25 cents, mate.
25. And that's the thing. Things were just so cheap back in those days.
They were. It was a wonderful time. Yeah. I mean, nowadays it would probably cost you 30 or 40 bucks to sit down and have that feed somewhere at McDonald's or whatever.
And we're joking around, but these are actually plastic.
They are.
Actually, this looks like a telephone.
It was plastic, but you still bit into it, I noticed, just to make sure.
But, you've got all the stuff in the background as well, so everything out the back is from the US.
Everything you see here, over the 35 years of collecting, I've packed, picked, dug through garages, through swap meets, deceased estates, yard sales, you name it, we did it long before the TV shows.
Yeah.
When you could get things for a great price.
Yeah.
So then we pack them, and generally packed them in the cars that we were bringing home. So every car was full of goodies.
Yeah.
There's about 8,500, 9,000 memorabilia pieces within the museum, so it's a lot when you lay it out. If we were to put it all in one room, you'd need a big
Absolutely.
room.
I mean, everybody hears about Route 66 and so forth, and they all hear about the stories about the diners and everything, and Route 66. We've seen cars as well, and that's starting to disappear. That whole thing, isn't it?
And it's a period of time that's long gone that we'll never ever be able to get back. So I think it's important as guardians of that to hang on to it for the future generations. But interestingly, if you were to go to America now and try and do Route 66, it's a partial tour nowadays because most of it is disappeared.
Gone. Yeah, it's so sad.
Yeah, it is very sad. But we've got our little piece of it here in Newcastle.
I think this is fantastic.
And we always set about to make it more than just about the cars. So for me, it's almost like a bit of a pop culture experience. Yeah. Hence the reason why most people wouldn't even bother.
Oh, no.
But, we pick up egg cartons from the 50s and... anything that's weird and wonderful, you're going to find it here.
I've seen some amazing grits. I've even seen back there as well, which is
a lot of politically incorrect stuff too from back in the day that was just out there that nowadays people would frown upon. But again, that's history. You don't hide from that. We're out there having fun with it. And
so, how many trips do you reckon you've done to the US?
I think we're over 110 now.
Oh my God!
I should get a green card, shouldn't I? You can make me a citizen or something.
And you still got the Australian accent, which is great.
There you go.
So, folks, we've decided to sit down and relax and find out about the man himself. So, Glenn, tell us about, how did it all start for you?
Oh, look, it's about 35 years of collecting. And I was a Matchbox kid growing up in Australia, as most of us were. We all had Matchbox cars. So there was always, for me, that underlying passion about cars, and in particular American cars, because back then, watching it on TV, you've seen these big, beautiful cars, and then you go out and get in Dad's Valiant, or so there was a quantum difference between the American cars and the Australian cars. Not that I would ever knock the Aussie cars, because they're just brilliant, but the Americans were so far advanced for a young kid. It was like watching sci-fi. So as time went on, and I was lucky enough to buy a Corvette when I was very young, in late teens. And it started the fire, and the passion ran from there. So in my business life, I've been fortunate enough to travel into the United States a lot, and that just, the fire just keeps on going. It goes from a little flame to a big flame. And so I started collecting and started bringing a few home, and you see the culmination of 35 years of that here today. So it's been a wonderful trip, and I don't know if there's another era in time where you can experience this. It seems to me, if you look at history, the Americans, for that very short window of time, had it all.
No, I just think the colours and the vibrance of everything, and how everything, they took particular care, didn't they, when they made things, made in the USA, and the names they came up with, I
mean, in terms of history and time frames, it was such a small period, because it all finished very quickly with petrol embargoes, and the big V8s were getting put in sheds and left, and fortunately for us, there were some nice barn finds to find out there. But America in its heyday, you have to remember, it was the powerhouse of the world, and they produced everything. And today is a sad indictment on the world that America today doesn't produce anything.
So obviously married?
Yes.
Yes. And your lovely wife is?
Kelly.
Kelly. And you've got children?
I have 3 daughters, Samantha, Ashley and Olivia.
Are they into this as well?
They are. All my family and my son-in-laws all work down here on our open days.
That's incredible.
My grandson is a museum nut. Anything with wheels on it and the steering wheel, and he's only 3 years old.
Oh my God.
But he spends time with Pa. He's down here on the polishing rags. So it's very much a family affair. We try to extend that into what we do when we open the door in a real welcoming.
Somebody's probably asked you this many, many times before, but have you got a one particular favourite? There's so many favourites out there, but if there's one out there that you would say, you know what, that's my favourite.
Yeah, I do. And unfortunately, we've just taken her out to a car show weekend just gone, so it's at home in its pride of place. And it's, again, 1958, we talked about it earlier, Pontiac Bonneville 2-door.
How rare is that?
It's a very rare car. It's a beautiful car, and it's 2-tone green.
Yeah.
And you don't see a lot of greens. And this is just sublime. When everyone walks into the museum, if you were to ask us, do a survey, that would come up as the prettiest of the cars.
So what's the future hold?
Well, as you know, the museum's running its course, and towards the end of this year we're going to close the doors to the public for the last time. And sadly, but also happily, it's time to move on. So everything will cross the auction block in October and November.
Wow.
And I think once it's done, it'll be a relief because it is a monster of a place to keep alive. But what a ride it's been, and I'll look back on it with the fondest of memories, as will everybody that's come through the door. And I've always said, if you come here and you don't walk out with a smile, you need to check your pulse.
I've even fallen over, literally collapsed, smiled. I've done everything, you know. I'm actually going to ring the wife to see if I can just stay here. But I really appreciate you taking the time. I mean, we've flown in from Adelaide, Jeff and I, and we've taken the time, and you've opened your heart and the doors to the place, and we really thank you for letting us do that.
And look, it's a privilege to have My Garage Rules here in our building because it's a great show, and I mean, it's going to go out to networks across the country, and everyone's those are going to enjoy it.
I really hope that does.
Thanks for coming down.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Well,
Cheers.
back to you guys. Thanks for watching. That's great.
Done. Coffee time.
Coffee time.
Oh, hey, hi everyone. Look, thanks for watching season 6. Thanks to all our sponsors, all our supporters out there. Oh God, it's crazy. You guys, I love you. Also, big thank you to Marcus, our camera guy who's holding the camera right now, and our producer, Jeff. There he is. Thank you, Jeff. And basically everybody that's just loved the show. You know, we really appreciate it. All the people that have opened their garages and invited us to shows and stuff like that, and barbecues that we've had. You know, that's probably why I've put on about 10 kilos. But anyway, I'm heading off and young Betty here, and we'll catch you all next time. Thanks again for watching My Garage Rules. I love you. Bye.
My Garage Rules is brought to you by U-Bullet, Auto Transformers, DreamWorks Garage, Tough Mounts, Outlaw Speed Shop, Black Canvas Photographers, SA Suspension Repairs, Mobile Auto Care, and Jeff's Garage.
Baby, well, I'm trying to